Ah, then YouTube, back out again I am. We're gonna have to recast these. Give me a minute. Turn you around a bit more. Give me a minute, reel these in. Just as I was setting you up, I've not done a setup time lapse. Just as I was setting you up, it was probably the lead bouncing because the sea's pretty damn rough actually. I'll tell you where I am in a sec. But the right hand rod just really bounced. Just once, just really bounced. Hasn't really, I say I haven't really moved since, but it's going ever so slightly. Probably just the lead bouncing. The sea's really rough and I've only got 5-ounce leads with me. But we're going to bring it in and have a look. We'll bring it in together and then I'll do my intro. Well, that's a load of weed on the line. Oh, that's heavy. I know I've got a crossover. I think I need to do this. I think. Nope, that was an incorrect move to make.
Eventually.
Ah well. We'll master it. I know, I'm bringing it in now. I'll pick up one rod at a time. So yeah, there's quite a bit of tow, to say the least. And I've not got any big leads with me. But we'll persevere in the hope that it calms down a little bit, although I do think that might be wishful thinking. I hate this stuff when it wraps around your leader knot. It stops you reeling in. I'm sure George Orwell must have been a fisherman, because when he wrote about red weed in War of the Worlds, not George, was it George Orwell that wrote War of the Worlds? You know, not wrote it, but well, yeah, I suppose wrote it. Somebody wrote the broadcast, didn't they? The original radio broadcast. He wrote about red weed taking over the earth and getting bunged into everything, and that's just what this stuff reminds me of. It catches up in all your knots and gets in your way. I'm just going to resend this bait because it's not been out long, and I fluffed my first couple of casts, so oh, whether I'm sending that too far, to be fair. I'm trying to keep that one relatively close in. And hopefully I can resend this one before that one gets round past me. Well, this one's tangled up as well. That's not too bad. But she's a rough sea today. There we go. Hey! Well, you got a ting or a cod? Alf's in already. First cast and he's in. Happy days, that's him happy. What, you got a ting? Yeah. Little ting. Out from... Oh! So that's Alf in already. Me falling all over the place and tangling myself up. But yeah, I'm just going to resend that bait. Anyway, right. I'll condense that last 5-10 minutes down and let's have a chat. Oh, there's something in these boots that rub across the bridge of my toes. Just have to have a look at it. I've got some new liners actually, I should have put them in. Right. So, Alf's off the mark, just leaves me. Oh! That were an hard knock. Let's see if it goes again. I've only just cast it, so it's probably just lead bouncing.
Yeah. First cast in,
I know, I saw, you cracked off, didn't you?
yeah.
Yeah, we're just lead settling that. It's still moving across.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, use them before we use new ones. So yeah, we're at Kilnsea.
Sorry?
Talking to camera.
Oh, sorry.
We're at Kilnsea at what I believe is the Bluebell Carpark. We did earmark Easington, but about 2 days ago I spoke to Shane, Holderness Cod Father. Shout out to Shane, go check out his channel. Who said the weed was really bad at Easington, which corroborated a lot of what other people were saying. So, and then we drove past Easington to come here. Granted, it's only 10 minutes up road. And then I rings him when we get here. I says, you know, is this Kilnsea north, south? Well, you know, I don't know what this classes as. And I still don't know what this classes as. So I'm just going to call this Kilnsea. And I'll call the mark the Bluebell Carpark. I was going to ask him what he caught that on, but he's only got my carton squid, so that's what he has to have caught it on, isn't it? Dear me. So yeah, we're at Kilnsea. I'm just going to do a real quick pan round. There's not much for you to see, the fog's really bad. But I'm just going to do a real quick pan round. There is some of the fishermen here, so I won't do it as slow as I sometimes do it. I'm going to have a spot to eat and a drink because I'm hungry and thirsty. And then I'm going to get on with some serious fishing. So we'll do a quick pan round. Which way should we go? We'll go clockwise. So, sea state looks rougher than it is, to be fair. There's quite a bit of undertow though. There's Alf down there. Moving round. There's not a great deal for me to speak about. There's the marshlands and the Humber at the other side of us. That down there is Sperm Point somewhere. Back there, more marshlands. There is the car park. My car's over there somewhere. I've parked it on the beach, which I don't know if you're allowed to, but it's out the way there, isn't it? And then you've got the other fishermen. and back round. So yeah, there you go, Kilnsea. I'll let these soak for 10 minutes, have a quick bite to eat. I'll find you a better position. I'll time lapse you guys. In fact, I might put you over my shoulder actually, just in case something does go on with the rods. Yeah, I'll put you over my shoulder. So I'm going to set a time lapse going. I'll see you in a sec. Thought we'd have another quick chat before the sun sets, basically. Obviously we are fishing into darkness, it's completely unavoidable. Wow, doesn't it look? I wonder if that's going to show up on the final video. It looks really yellow and dystopian on the front screen. Doesn't on the back screen, not so much. Yeah, I lost a flatty in the surf because of the weed catching up in the eye on the Achios, which is, as always, is closer in. So I've got the power tip on this today. I've used both the centre tip and the power tip on it now. Hopefully putting the power tip on it doesn't restart the new rod curse. But I am seriously struggling to hold bottom. Hoping that calms down as night falls. I'm hoping I'm pushed back as far as I'm going to get, but I think that might be a bit optimistic. Although we're only half an hour away from high tide, so unless it has a big surge, we should be okay. So far, I've not seen anybody else other than Alf pull one out, but I don't sit watching the other anglers. Are the tips in frame for you guys? Trying to respond to my YouTube comments. Unfortunately, the signal down here is extremely poor. Somebody's just commented, where do I get the tip lights? So have I got a link for the tip lights? Unfortunately, I do not. I get them from my tackle centres. From whichever tackle shop I'm at the time if I need one. I'm hoping that the thicker tip on the pen, on the tidal, will have a better glow in the dark effect, because I've got no tip light, although I do have a tip light for it. I just have to take the adapter off the other tip, unless Alf's also got one of those, since he seems to pack everything into his boxes. So I might nip and ask him if he's got one of those in a little bit. But yeah, it's a rough sea, it's a strong sea. The weed seems to have calmed down a little. Hopefully that's a sign of good things to come. I don't know how long we're going to stay tonight, guys. I'm very tempted, since it took me so long to get here. That was sort of kind of why I did a bit of a short intro, in a bit of a foul mood, to be honest. Just because it took so long to get here. Because for some reason, highways in all their omnipotent, well, whatever, highways decided that on the last Saturday before Christmas, they're going to shut the A180, which is the main road in and out of Grimsby. I don't know if it's going to be shut for going home. I had planned to get here around lunchtime, and as it's turned out, we didn't get here until 2 o'clock. So I do plan on making it quite worthwhile. I do plan on making the trip quite worthwhile. I had hoped to be home for around tea time. Well, late tea time. Late evening. But that's not going to be the case now. According to the Solunar thing that's on Magic Seaweed, or Magic Sea Fish, apparently this should fish its absolute arse off at about 11 o'clock tonight. Not saying I will stay until then, but might have to break out the stove. Got the stove in the car and some coffees. Might have to break out the stove. I'm not sure. So I'm going to bring these in and just upgrade the weights a little bit. I'm just a bit hesitant because I think something might be can't tell if it's tide noise or whether something's having a sniff. Don't know. I'm just going to nip and see Alf 2 minutes and let that develop. See if in his box of everything, so we might have to have a look and see how long we can stay for. But it's fresh bait time. We've got oodles of bait on us, so it's fresh bait time. It's pointless sitting out there with bait soaking. Ah. Bloody overspooled, hasn't it? Oh, this is going to be fun. Oh dear. Ah, shit. Oh, got myself in a right mess here now. I'm having one of them days today. If it can go wrong, it will. Right, try that again. At least I've not cracked off yet. There we go, another load of weed on this leader knot. And it ain't coming off. I really need to take the time to learn some thinner leader knots. I use a back-to-back uni knot at the moment, but because, do you know, because I don't use braid, an FG knot's no good. And I don't get on with tying a blood knot. I've twied and I've twied and I've twied. With blood knots, and I just don't get on with them. I'm going to switch this to a slightly heavier lead. Keep it short, but it's a heavier lead, because this lead really isn't supposed to go on this rod. It's not rated for it. But as long as I'm not thumping it, it'll be fine. He says, I'm struggling to get the old lead off the imp. Oh yeah, that was definitely time for a change. Definitely time for a change on that one. But if it continues to be an issue of holding bottom, I might drop to one rod just to make life a bit easier to manage. So baits are definitely coming in, shall we say, damaged. But no takers yet. I don't like heavy leads. I can't cast heavy leads or big baits. So why I made all these wraps so big, I don't know. But you know what? I might as well say it, because it's probably going to happen. The worst thing that could probably go wrong tonight is me putting a hook through my fucking hand. It's not happened yet, Come close a few times, got a hook sunk quite deep in my hand before, but hopefully there's a match going on at the moment over on the south bank of the Humber. One of the main reasons that we've come to this side of the Humber today really is to be out of the way of the match, because it's a big one. Yeah, so it's one of the reasons we've come over here, is to be out of their way. Hopefully the match is going well for them, although if the sea's as rough as it is over there, if the sea's as rough over there as it is over here, it probably will be, because the cod will go into the Humber for a bit of respite. Right, that one's held bottom, so hopefully, fingers crossed. Oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put any rate distance on this now. I didn't hear that land, so I assume that I put some distance on that. Did not hear that land at all. Hopefully we've got some range on that. I'm going to pop you back on time lapse for a bit, guys. It's getting a bit dark, so I'm going to need to set up sort of the nighttime stuff really. Is it holding? Yeah, seems to be. So I'm going to set up some of the nighttime stuff. All the other fishermen are still here, so that's a good sign. Well, some of them have reeled in. I think some of them are in the camper vans, if not all of them. I think they've reeled in, gone for the dinner, and then they'll probably come back out later. I'm going to give my hands a wash and get my nighttime stuff set up. So I'll put you on time lapse. I'll see you in a bit. There we go, guys. I don't want to hang about because it's ting. Yeah, ting. There we go, it's not a blank. Let's do the whole, what we were laughing and joking about. Oh, £15 ting, there we go. Massive ting, no it's not. About £1, £1.50. Not a bad size. I'm going to get them back because obviously, as we all know, tings are a bit finicky. Oh, still fighting, so hopefully it'll go back happy. Oh, there she goes. It's not a blank. Happy days, it's not a blank. And I didn't say it on camera, I don't think I said it on camera, but I'm just having one of those days where if it can go wrong it will. And I said, sod's law. I says I'll put a hook through my hand. Guess what I've just done? Put a hook through my thumb. Not comfy. Bit of blood. Have to nip back to the car, get something to cover it with. Just to reduce down the chance of infection. But I'm just going to quickly fit on this tip light holder, which is never easy when you've got line on. In fact, just do this to take the pressure off the line and then I can loop it out of the way. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing at all. I would imagine not. It's important to remember with electrical tape to tear it off. Don't cut it, because the action of tearing it pulls it all tighter. Makes it grip on itself a lot better. There we go. That'll hold. That'll hold. It's got ties, I tell you. Not until you're a fisherman that you realise how dark it gets, how quickly it gets dark. On the coast. There we go. Now get this one back changed, and for the ease of fishing at night, I'm still very tempted to drop down to one rod, to two rods. That's because I was contemplating bringing a third rod. Glad I didn't now. These Gemini weights, although they're the only ones I've got that are holding bottom, they're filling with grit, somewhat rotten. But yeah, if you don't know this mark, and if you're like me, you're a family man, and your family are wanting to come fishing, or just have days at the beach with you, then this Bluebell Carpark fishing mark is a good one because it's got toilets. So if you've got, especially myself, I've got young ladies, they're you know what? Let's go big. Let's go big. If you've got young ladies, ow! you know, that aren't necessarily wanting to dig a latrine, then knowing these things like this mark's got a toilet, like Sutton on Sea's got a toilet, is valuable information. And it makes it, although it may not, I don't know what it fishes like in summer, although it may not fish that well in Somerset, let's say, but for a mark where you can come and wet a line and bring your family, you know, like say if you're like me with two young ladies, then you know, knowing where these marks are that are slightly more friendly, and the fact the sun's setting, I think the toilet is still open. Yeah, let's go to the left. Says a lot. You know, I wouldn't want them going unaccompanied after dark. In fact, I wouldn't want them going unaccompanied to a public toilet full stop, but, you know. Oh. In fact, I should have kept that ting. The missus loved the ting fish cakes. Yeah, I should have kept that ting. Oh well. Oh, that's settled quick. Right. So yeah, I don't know if there was any bites, because during that time lapse I've been to the car and things, so I don't know if that whiting, if you guys saw that whiting take or not. I sure as hell didn't know it was on until I got it all the way in, so. But this one was fished close in, so let's see if there's anything on this one. Doesn't feel like it. Nope, nothing on this one. Oh, nothing on this one. Although, to be fair, for a close in, really, that bait was too big. So that's one apiece to me and Alf. And as far as I've seen, nothing to anybody else that's on the beach. In fact, almost everybody else has packed up and gone home. Let's cut one of these down. But it may be that distance is the way to go on this beach, I don't know. But I will persevere with the one close, one far, and we'll find out, I suppose. Aye. A ting. A ting.
Well done, man.
On my distance, on my far out. So,
Yeah.
maybe far out's the way to go.
Yeah.
We'll just have to keep experimenting and see, won't we?
That's
But
it.
at least neither of us are blanking now.
Yeah.
They were a nice sized thing as well, to be fair. Yeah. Don't know if it swam off, I couldn't see. This fog is just throwing me headlight light back at me. Oh. So that one's not going out at distance. I might even change it to a flatty rig now I've got a lead that'll hold bottom. I might change it to a two-up clip down. Well, there we go, fresh baits and a fish. A discussion about the mark. Yeah, it's nice down here. You do, I mean, I know I say it all the time really, that I'm much happier on a beach than I am at the wall, and that's true, and I think most fishermen would say the same. Given the choice, we would be on a beach. But you kind of have to go where the fish are, don't you? You can't always pick and choose where you're fishing. To be fair, I don't think we need that on, do we? I'm going to stick you back on time lapse for a bit, and I'm going to turn my microphones off because I'm not sure how long we're going to stay. And power, at least for the microphones, is always an issue. So I'll stick you back on time lapse and have a chill out for a bit. See you in a bit. Okay, is my microphone still on? It is. Oh, another little ting. Another little ting. Another lip up ting as well. I'm getting. Come on, up in your mouth. There we go. Come on. There we go. Little ting. I'm not going to dawdle because I like to get these guys back as quick as I can. Another ting. Two. Two. Yeah, ting ting round two. Come on, off you go. Oh, that one swam off with some energy. We like that. We like that. That swam off with some enthusiasm. Yeah, both my rod tips have been nodding like mad. And that one just had a proper take on it, so and it's second bait, so I don't know whether it was sat on it for a while. But I'm going to check my other one as well, because this has had a couple of big knocks on it. But then nothing's happened afterwards. Oh yeah, maybe. Maybe I can feel something. Feel something vibrating against me. It's getting me all excited. Oh, it's heavy. It'll be a bunch of weed. Or it'd be your rig that you launched earlier. Oh God. Oh, it's just gone light in surf. Oh, there it is. And it's another ting. It's another ting. Three. It is, yeah, 3-1. Once again, guys, I'll get it unhooked to give you a quick show. And then because these tings are notorious for not really going back. Oh dear. Have a look. And it's taken oh, I can see it. That's all right. Stay there. I thought it would gut hooked, but it's not. There we go. Dead quick show. Dead quick. It's gone a bit light limp, this one. But there you go. Number 3. Oh no, it's still kicking. Come on, let's get you back, kid. Where have you gone? Have you gone? Have you gone? Yeah, you've gone. You've gone. Good. 2 good returns as well. Happy with that. Settings really don't like to go back. Well, obviously they like to go back, but they don't go back so well. So I'll get these baited back up, resent. That's close in and at range. Both caught, so what's to say? What's to say? Right, I just need some. I've got to sort something out on my phone, guys. So I'm just going to deal with this. There it is. Right, just shut camera off. That's not too bad. Right. So he just had to take basically nearly an hour off fishing to speak with Amazon customer services then. Diddle. But we're back out now. That's got a bit late Saturday, hasn't it? Yeah, bit of tide noise. Just because there's a lot of movement. I don't know if you'll be able to hear the sea on the microphones, but there's a lot of movement out there. I mean, we can't see beyond the breaker, which is quite close in. Just what it's doing out there, we can't see a damn thing because of the fog. There's some guys fishing next to us. They've got a tilly lamp, and it really does make me want a tilly lamp because it looks really cool. But it's just another thing to carry, which I suppose is all right when you come into a mark like this because the car's not far away. Yeah, I think even these leads are starting to struggle to hold bottom now. Let's have a look. Lots of tide noise. So yeah, I'm a bit cut off on this beach really because there's no data, or there's very weak phone connection. So I can't see how the lads are doing in the match. I'd love to know how the match is going. Let me just check, see if there's any comments that I can respond to in this video on the last video, because I fired out a couple of videos recently. So Jason, you were the gent that asked about the tip lights. Jason, if you're in the area again and go and see George, they're the same tip lights he stocks. I just get them in blue. I find blue to be one of the strongest colours. It shows up really well on camera, as does the green, but the green tends not to be as bright. They also do them in red and white. But I find the blue, for me, shows up really well on camera. But George sells them. Adam down at AM Tackle in Winterton, he sells them. They're just a generic tip light. They're not a specific type. Carl. Oh mate, Carl, I'm assuming you missed my comment through one reason or another. I pinned a comment on the video you've just commented on. Saying to give me a shout because you said you wanted to come out with me. And I had space for you to come out with me today. But unfortunately, I don't think I've got any way of getting hold of you apart from through YouTube comments. And I apologise, I'm not going to share my telephone number. That'd just be stupid. I think Alf's getting wet. There is the email on my About page. You can email me there to get hold of me directly and to be able to talk privately. There is also Facebook, obviously. I am thinking of doing maybe a Instagram, but I'm not a photography person. I don't put a fish out to take a photo of it. I do the video blogging, so I don't know. I've done Instagrams in the past for things like gardening, and I never put anything on it. The only time I ever take photos really is when I'm out with somebody else and they ask me to take a photo of them with their fish and send it to them. And that's pretty much the only time I ever photograph a fish. Sort of personal bests and things like that. Or if I'm not videoing, like when I went smoothhound fishing, then I have photographed before, but yeah, I tend to vlog. I video record. I tend not to. And 90% of my fish are catch and release, so I've got no you know, I don't put them on a. I don't measure them unless it's something that's worth keeping. So, or worth checking to see if it's worth keeping. So I don't. Yeah, I'm not. I don't. I like to unhook and release as quickly as I can. So I don't stop to take pictures of my catches. That, and of course, I mean, I know there's ways around it, but that, and of course, you can't upload to Instagram from a PC. So if I was to bring a camera or use this camera to take photos, you can't upload them from a computer, which is what I would rather do. So, a lot of tide noise now. Yeah. I'm wondering if on the ebb, this is not worth fishing. I'm wondering. I know that, or I am told, every mark I come to on the Holderness coast, I am told that they always fish better on the flood. However, my experience of fishing a few times on the Holderness coast says otherwise. It's always fished at high for me, and a little bit on the ebb. I tend not to fish the ebbers that much, really. Thing is, if I'd have got here when I planned to get here, we would have been fishing for 6 hours by now, and we would be thinking about tea and home and tea. So yeah, a little bit irritating. Yeah, it's just been a comedy of errors today. Amazon's peed me off. People have peed me off. The roads have peed me off. I've put a hook through my finger, that's peed me off. Or my thumb, should I say. But 3 fish so far this session. We're not giving up yet. We're going to continue fishing. And we'll see what happens. I might try and get Alf to move further up this way. I don't know. Because the toe is definitely to the left now. But the leads that I've borrowed off Alf are holding bottom. So that's nice. Oh, they're holding bottom for the most part. But the only problem with fishing with carp in this weather is it washes out very, very quickly in rough water. So, yeah, that's interesting. But I do find these wings to be a pretty resilient bait. God, it still makes me chuckle because the amount of abuse I get for this when I'm out fishing with lads. Let me know in the comments below, as I always ask, these carp wings, are they any good, or do they fish just as well for things that like peelers? Now I'm thinking obviously the smoothhounds in summer primarily, because I'm finding that a pack of carp wings is going a long way. I'm getting a lot of baits out of them. So I don't think I'm going to use everything that I've bought in this season, in this cod season. I think I'm still going to have some left come summer. Or come spring, because there's the lull, isn't there, sort of end of Jan up until, where are we, January, February, March, till sort of March, end of March, early April. There's a bit of a lull in what you know, it goes back to just pretty much flatty bashing. Although who can tell, actually? I'm saying that, who can tell, because tides and the seas, they're changing. We're seeing fish come out. For example, on the south bank on the Humber, we're seeing haddock come out from the coast, from the wall. Not in massive numbers, but I think so far 3 or 4 have been publicly sort of mentioned out in the Facebook lands. And as far as I'm aware, that's previously unheard of. Rocklings in larger numbers than have been seen before. Smoothhounds in larger numbers, doggies in larger numbers. The seas, they are changing. The species we're seeing in locations are different to what they used to be. Excuse me. But yeah, I would like to know whether or not, in your experience, almighty YouTube, and the wealth of knowledge we have out there, whether these cart wings work as a supplement or not a supplement, a substitute for peeler crab. It's all crab. Surely surely it works the same. Works the same. I don't know, but yeah. Right. I've had a rant, and I apologise profusely. And I apologise profusely to the people it's aimed at, because it is targeted, and I apologise. At least I have the decency to apologise publicly for being inappropriate, but I am going to leave it in. I've got to now, because I've spoken about it, and I'm going to now say, rants aside, although I know some of you like the rants aside, talk to me in the comments below. Let me know what you think about what I've discussed. Has Alf packed away? No. Yeah, let me know in the comments about what I've discussed. If you like seeing true nitty-gritty vlogging fishing, please do press that subscribe button. It makes a world of difference. I do kind of ask, because I would like to monetize the channel, but don't get me wrong, you don't make hundreds of thousands of pounds monetizing a YouTube channel, but every little bit helps. I'm not a rich man by any stretch of the imagination. I've 4 women at home now, 5 if you include the dog. Fishing's not a cheap hobby, so if I do get to monetize the channel, it will help me out quite extensively. And I make no bones about it. That is something that I do intend on doing. And if it makes you click off, it makes you click off, and I apologise. But, the time, I think, I've been out with a few fishermen recently. Matt was one who was actually quite amazed to learn. I'm going off on another rant, aren't I? But was actually quite amazed to learn the amount of time. I sort of did him I told him an itinerary of what it takes, because when I come fishing, I record 5-6 hours worth of footage. And you have to try and condense that down, because nobody wants a 5-hour video. I have repeatedly asked if that is something you would like me to do on a second channel. Just put up the raw footage, unedited, unclipped, just uploaded, no music, no fancy bells and whistles, just the whole sessions uploaded on a separate channel. I would be more than happy to do that. I have the footage. It's not going to make any impact. The time lapses are time lapses. They're recorded as time lapses. But like now, when I've been toing and froing and recasting and things like that, I edit a lot of that dead space out. Either I'm not in shot, or the audio's crap, or something like that. I take a lot of that out. But if, you know, I have asked before, if it is something that perhaps people do want to see, I will launch a second channel where I will just call it One Man and His Rod Raw, and you will just get 100% the raw footage, unedited, unabridged. But yeah, sorry. Once again, I've veered off, haven't I? I think I'm going to have to bring in the Achios. The tide's going out. I don't know if the Achios is still in any water. What was I saying? Yes, the amount of time it takes, the amount of time that goes into a video. The crux of the matter is, if I do monetize, if you don't like it, I apologize. But if I do monetize, you know, it's not money for nothing. Recording these videos is a pleasure. Editing them, I do kind of sadistically enjoy. But it takes half a day. And then once it's half a day again then to get it on YouTube, get it uploaded, do all the tags, do the descriptions, do the thumbnails, all that kind of jargon. So a little bit of justification for the time is always nice. I'm hoping there has been issues sorting out hoodies, box stickers, and those bits and pieces of merchandise. There has been issues with the company I was going to use. It's a new fledgling company. These things happen. They've had personal issues. They're getting back on their feet. So hopefully I'm going to do a Mark II hoodie early in the new year. Let them get Christmas out of the way and things like that. Hopefully I'm going to do a Mark II hoodie with the things that I've learned from the printing on this hoodie. I need to ring the missus. Early in the new year. And you'll see the ones that I'm going to do for the kids as well, because I'll get one for Rosa, so you'll see the child's one as well. Right, I'm going to, all rants over and all that crap is, you know, let's draw a line under it. Even these leads are struggling to hold bottom now. I'm going to ring the missus, and then I'm going to reel in and change baits. So I'll stick you back on time lapse and I'll see you in a bit. Hey up YouTube. Right, you might have noticed that the last video just ended like that. Sort of the pack down and time lapse, and there was no outro. Or should I say our time at North Kilnsea ended just like that. Basically what happened was the weed was horrific.
Wait, what?
To the point where it was like pulling, when you pulled your line in from your either side of your leader knot, it was as thick as rope all the way down. So me and Alf, we just decided bugger it, and we thought we'd come and see if we could get on the tail end of the tide down at the woods end of the wall. But as I'd already mentioned earlier in that video, highways in all their infinite godliness had decided to shut the A180 on the last Saturday before Christmas. So when we left North Kilnsea, the country roads were that chocker. It took us 2 hours to get back over this side of the bridge, at which point, which is double the time it should have taken, at which point it wasn't worth coming down. The water was too far out even for the bottom end of the wall there. So that video just ended and there was no outro. So this is the outro to that video. This is me explaining what happened. So I'll put that video together with this stuck on the end of it. And so, you know, if the video was okay, if you enjoyed it, I know it was really bitty, really time-lapsey, but I tend to find that's the best way to do these nighttime videos. I also mentioned in that video, somebody asked me what tip lights do I use. It's just these guys, the Tip Light Mark IV. I picked these up from a tackle shop. I couldn't get to George's today. I went down to Adam at A&M Tackle in Winterton, and he hooked me up, so there you go. Just to show you again, just a Mark IV, it's just called Tip Light Mark IV, and they come in different colours indicated up here. I got another blue one because I think I lost my other one somewhere. It'll be either in the back of the car or something, but yeah. And I got some new forceps because my forceps went walkabout, so I thought I'd try these breakaway forceps. See how I get on with them. But yes, anyway, if the Kilnsea video was okay, if you liked it, please do press like. If you didn't like it, go ahead and press dislike. 3 fish in that video, wasn't there? Three whiting. I wish I'd taken them, to be honest. 2 out of the 3 went back safe and happy and swam off. Unfortunately, the first one that I caught early on kicked it. And I should have kept that fish, and then I would have kept the other 2, and then I would have made fish cakes over the weekend. But everything always looks 20/20 in hindsight, doesn't it? I am going to go, yeah, right. So anyway, I'm going to close down this video. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe if you've made it this far in the video. If you dislike it, by all means press the thumbs down. But please do talk to me in the comments below. I did ask some questions as well, and I can't remember what they were, but hey ho. So yeah, I'll see you later, which in actual fact, if you're just going on to the next video, it'll be in a few seconds, because I'll knock this off and we'll talk about being here now. So I'll see you in a sec, or I'll see you later.